Earlier, I spoke to Dr. Dorothy Nyambi, who heads up the Africa Growth Fund, which is pushing for the creation of more places for investment money to be held on the continent.
So domiciliation, I will quickly say, it is part of the financial architecture that every continent, all the 54 countries in Africa need. And so let me give a simple example. A farmer in Rwanda will grow coffee. You process and package that coffee in Kenya, and then that coffee gets sold somewhere in Europe. So what happens in that process is that the company which is registered to do it, you pay all the taxes, all the legal fees, all the banking fees, all the professional services. And if you don't do it, say in Rwanda, you've now carried all that money and all those jobs and taken elsewhere. And that's what domiciliation really is. We're saying that the money that is being invested on the continent, let's have that money domiciled in jurisdictions on the continent, in any of the 54 countries. So that way we can actually retain that value, the value of the banking fees, the value of the taxes, the value of the jobs that will be created for lawyers, for tax people, for different professional services. And right off the back, if you open a 20 million fund, say in Luxembourg, you leave about 700,000 on the table for all of those things right away. So why don't we retain that value on the African continent?
So it's all the behind the scenes money and value that's generated from that initial capital investment. Super interesting. So why is it so patchy, though, in Africa? And what do you want to see change?
So I think it is a question of perception, risk. It's a question of also trust. So with that, what we're trying to do is that there's jurisdiction on the African continent that already, Mauritius already sees some domiciliation. Rwanda is up and coming, South Africa, we have Morocco, but we want to have more. We want to be able, through backward integration, and by doing so, start to bring that value addition back to the continent. The other piece around that, Georgia, is that our local domestic pension funds, they've all taken their money and they're investing it offshore. And we are saying, please bring some of that money back onto the continent where our funds and our intermediaries are domiciled. And let us use some of that money from our pension funds to grow our SMEs and small businesses and entrepreneurs and that entire ecosystem. That's the engine of growth, and that's what's going to help to move Africa as a continent further along, and that's where we need to be.
Dr. Dorothy Nyambi there speaking to me a little earlier on.